A better route. Chapter 107. Naruto looked up and the monstrous three-headed dog above him and got right into his hand seals. He knew that it would be better if he sent one of his toads to handle this thing, and he remembered that one of Jiraiya's toads had already helped send this thing packing before. Granted, he'd needed the help from Jiraiya, but Naruto could always summon another toad to help him. Once Naruto had finished up and the smoke was clear, Gamaken and Gamabunta were there with him. It seems someone has summoned this clumsy toad and his leader as well. The massive dog roared again and Gamaken frowned. Oh dear, not that mud again. Gamabunta started to get the idea. Yo Gaki, is this about this pain fella that took out Jiraiya? Naruto nodded. Yeah, this is about him. Gamabunta smirked. In that case, taking out this big guy. You go find Pain, we'll handle this. Naruto turned to Konan and Karen. Just stay out of the way for now. Like I said, I have to be the one to take down Pain. Karen jumped off and Konan simply said, be careful, Naruto. Naruto watched her leave and started to look for Pain. What Naruto didn't know is that Pain had already found him. Hello Naruto, I see you summon toads just as our sensei did. Naruto found Pain standing right in front of him along with his 6 paths. He did his best to contain his anger. You don't even have the right to call him your sensei. You've spit in the face of everything he stood for. Pain showed no emotion. He was good man, but a naive fool. I'm hoping that you'll be willing to see that and come without much of a fight. Naruto activated his Sage mode. Not a snowball's chance in hell. Pain narrowed his eyes. Then I'm afraid I'll have to kill you. Naruto was about to retort when his Sage mode picked up something coming right for him. He caught the path with metal spikes on his head out of the corner of his eye. As the path closed in on him, Naruto made some clones to start up a Rasengan in each hand. Before the path could strike him, he ducked and shoved the Rasengan into his gut and sending him hurtling into a branch. It went limp and fell to the ground as Naruto muttered, that's one down. Pain muttered something to one of the paths. This one was an orange-haired man with needles in his nose, who went down after the path. Naruto figured that must have been the healing path, so Naruto was about to chase after it when another path jumped in front of him. This one was much more muscular but still had orange hair. Naruto made 2 more clones and started to create another Rasengan in his hand. Only this time he channeled some wind chakra as well, preparing to use one of his best attacks. The path didn't seem the least bit nervous when Naruto threw the Rasen Shuriken. He merely raised up his hands and caught it. All Naruto could do was watch as the path somehow absorbed the blow like it was nothing. Naruto realized just what path he was facing. So you're the one that absorbs ninjutsu. Looks like I'm gonna have to approach this differently to take you out. I think I've got some taijutsu perfect for just this situation just fine. The head path scoffed, you act as though you can actually hit him. My paths won't let you catch him off guard like that. Naruto clenched his fist and glared at him while making 2 clones in the process. Let's agree to disagree. The 2 clones jumped away and Naruto took a hard swing at the path. It jumped back to find one of Naruto's clones jumping towards him. The path smacked it away and noticed the second clone was now above him trying to attack. He grabbed the clone's feet and hurled it into a tree, dispelling it. As soon as that happened, the real Naruto came up from behind him, got ready to strike. All of paths were watching him, so just before Naruto could hit the absorbing path it moved its head to the side. Naruto's fist was just inches from his face. Naruto smirked, gotcha. The path didn't understand how, but in less than a second later he felt a hard strike hit his cheek. Naruto could see he was caught off guard slightly before having to recompose himself after the sudden surprise. However, Naruto took the opportunity to hit him in the chest with a toad slap. Pain could see his path was beyond any help from the healing path from the sudden action from his sibling student and had to admit, Naruto was doing very well. Naruto could see the healing path was almost done fixing up the weapon buddy, which really wasn't something Naruto was going to let happen. He made 2 more clones and began to work chakra into his hand again. In the blink of an eye he'd made another Rasen Shuriken in his hand and threw it at healing path. The healing path stopped repairing his friend to try and escape from the oncoming attack. Too bad that even with the advanced abilities his Dojutsu provided for seeing his other path's visions to warn him of danger, he didn't have time to get out of the way. Pain couldn't believe his eyes as he watched a third of his paths being taken out, but still showed a face of no emotion or being fazed by the accomplishment being done and commented, "Amazing, you've truly surpassed our sensei. However, so have I." Naruto was too busy panting to respond. He'd already used most of the power in his sage mode just taking out the first 3 paths, and from what Conan had said the head path was stronger than all the others combined. Meaning that the battle was just getting started. If Naruto had to guess, he'd say he could muster up one more Rasen Shuriken left before being depleted of all sage mode chakra, and he'd have to rely on his Jinchuriki cloak. The young sage was starting to lose some of his confidence. Pain plainly said to him, "If I were you, Naruto, I'd really be watching every single one of my actions, not to mention yours, if you haven't already." Naruto became startled at the warning. "Damn, you're good at reading facial expressions, aren't ya?" Again, Pain just stated a blunt and obvious truth that he figured Naruto must have overlooked. "It's not your facial expression, my friend here can tell what you're thinking." Naruto mentally cursed himself as he had almost forgotten about that. "That's right, your mind-reading path." Pain was now a little worried as to how he knew so much about his paths, but didn't really think it was all that important at the moment. Still, the only reaction he replied to that was to narrow his eyes a little. He simply kept his other paths, watched the boy under his gaze and making sure he didn't get the jump on them. The path got a nervous look on his face as he noticed something that Naruto was doing that caught his attention. Interesting approach to whatever he's trying to accomplish. That's going to make things difficult. Naruto made his favorite hand seal, began to surround himself with as many clones as he could, and all of them, including the original Naruto, jumped off and surround their enemies. Pain asked questions silently to himself. What's he planning to do? The clones all started rushing in the direction towards Pain and his paths. Pain was anticipating his actions by waiting until he could sense Naruto building up chakra for his Rasen Shuriken before he raising up his hand to prepare his counter-attack. He watched as Naruto released the Rasen Shuriken and Pain his attack loose, almighty push. Naruto and his clones were feeling a sudden wave of power blow them back as he took of notice, before the powerful force pushed him a few feet back. To observe his attack was anticipated by an almost invisible wall and blocking it before dispersing the mass of wind chakra. Pain was right in thinking he'd gained the upper hand by canceling the boy's attack, but was quick to dismiss those thoughts as he saw some strange orange flash coming out of nowhere. He heard Naruto scream a battle cry and exclaim, "Massive Rasengan." Pain narrowed his eyes as he was able to get a good look at the orange flash and scowled when he immediately recognized it as Naruto covered in the Kyuubi's chakra. Thanks to the Kyuubi, Naruto was able to move so fast that his path didn't even have enough time to read his mind and quickly extinguish another life of the 6 paths of Pain, the light from his eyes slowly becoming dimmer. This meant he was now down to only 2 paths. Pain was getting a little impatient. "So not only are you a sage, but you've managed to acquire the power of the Kyuubi as well. You really don't know when to give up, do you?" Naruto smirked. "Never have, never will." As they were speaking, Gamabunta and Gamaken tossed the now 7-headed dog over by them. Naruto sighed. "Are you two still messing with that thing?" Gamabunta yelled, "Hey, this thing's a lot tougher than it looks. Why don't you try and take out that damn thing that summoned it?" Naruto looked at the summoning path and had to agree. "All I've gotta do is take out one more path and then I can really focus on big guy." "Gamaken, can you hold off the dog so that I can get Gamabunta's help?" Gamaken currently had the dog by the throat with his Susumida. "I am ungrateful, but I suppose I could hold him down for a bit." Naruto started to make some hand seals. "Thanks buddy, it won't be long, I swear." This boy's persistence was really getting to Pain. "Just give it up. There's no way you can defeat me." Naruto finished his hand seals and smirked. "We'll see about that." Jinchuriki Flash Jutsu. Pain and his other path were blinded by an incredibly bright light Naruto began to emit. Neither of them could see anything, but they heard the sound of something heavy being lifted. The very next thing they heard was a big crash as something hit the ground. When the flash was finally over, Pain looked around but couldn't see Naruto or his other path. When he tried to share the sight of his other path, all he could see was black. Before long, Pain lost any contact with his path at all and the three-headed dog disappeared. Pain didn't understand it. Where was his last path? That's when Gamabunta opened his mouth to revival Naruto and his destroyed path inside. Pain was indeed a little dumbfounded by this accomplishment from the boy, but didn't let it affect him too long to linger upon. You blinded us with that flash, picked up a giant toad, threw it, used your speed to jump in its mouth, and then had it swallow my last path so you could destroy it? Naruto gave his foxy grin. What can I say? I'm very creative. Alright Gamabunta, Gamakin, I've got it from here. They gave him a mock salute and returned to the Toad realm. Pain was at the end of his tolerance. I'm done playing games with you. This ends here and now. Planetary devastation. All Naruto had to hear was the name to know this was gonna be bad. A strange object came from Pain's hands. A black ball rose high into sky as the ground under him began to rumble and crumble, eventually rising into the air and towards the black ball. Naruto did panic. He knew he couldn't dwell too long on these thoughts. After carefully observing the object in the sky and the ground beneath him, he was able to infer how this jutsu worked. He mentally screamed to his friend in his belly, Kurama. Tell me you've got something that can get me out of this. Kurama's mind was racing. I may have something, but I doubt it'll destroy it. At best it'll hit that thing and stop the flow of the pull temporarily. However, after using an attack that powerful, I have no doubts that Pain will need to recharge. You'll only have a small window to land a final blow and take that bastard out. Naruto wasn't about to question it. What do I have to do? Kurama gave him the simplest explanation he could think of while trying not to panic at the same time. Use those chakra limbs of yours to contain as much of my chakra into a ball as you can. Once you feel like it's about to blow, fire at that center of that black ball. Naruto created 4 extra hands and started focusing all of Kurama's chakra that he could manage into a ball like he'd been told. The raw power he felt in his hands was amazing. Before long Naruto felt like he was about to lose control. He launched the ball as hard as he could at the center of Pain's jutsu, and when it hit, all Naruto could say was, "Holy shit." The explosion and energy Naruto felt and saw when it went off was indescribable. Kurama chuckled in his head. That my boy was a tail beast bomb. Now stop screwing around and go get Pain. He saw that Pain's jutsu has slowed down quite a bit and was no longer pulling him in. Naruto knew he didn't have time to jump all the way after him, but he could blast Pain while he was still charging back up. Charging up one last Raisin Shuriken, Naruto prepared to finish the madman. Pain was so busy trying to figure out what in the hell had happened to his jutsu he didn't even notice the blue ball of power rushing towards him. When he finally sensed the attack, it was too late. The head path's last words were, "So he's the true child of the prophecy." He was hit by the Raisin Shuriken and destroyed in an instant. The jutsu stopped and Naruto was finally able to jump down and get a good look at him. Dozens of metal poles covered his body. If Naruto's hunch was right, they would be the key to finding the real him. See you in the next one.